What up, y'all? What up? Everybody so quiet. Shout out to Ev, just got that win. St. Louis in the building, 314. Let's go.
Well, Joaquin, I feel like a fight like this with Usman was always on the cards for you, right? It seemed like that was a fight that people wanted to see. It seems like a fight you wanted to see. Now to have it out there, it's booked. How good does it feel to know you're going up against
Man, I mean, for real, it's just like, it's a dream come true. Because it was something that we was hunting for, right? It was a big call out, you know, and I know that we was, you know, taking a chance on even just making the call out because I didn't think that man was going to actually take the fight. But, you know, Dana White, Hunter, you know what I mean, TKO, UFC, they did their thing, man. They made this fight happen. And be honest with you, I think it was the fans. I really think it was the fans that really kind of pushed them to get that fight and to make it happen, especially when I made that poll, right? Talking about Leon, talking about Bilal. But, man, when I said Usman name, boy, they cheered like crazy. So I really think it was the fans, man, that really got me that fight.
He is considered one of the best in this division's history, right? Like a former champion, one of the greats. Is it for you to have that name on your resume? That's something that you'll have forever. Does that excite you? Does that motivate you in training?
Yeah, I think the position they could have put me in, right, where you see JDM fighting for a title, I'm glad they didn't give me that opportunity because I really did want Kamaru Usman on my resume, right? And obviously we see he's 0-3, right? Got knocked out by Leon, lost to Leon, and then lost to Hamzat. But don't get it twisted. I feel like the Kamaru Usman that I'm going to fight is going to be the best version. So the one that was on a damn near on a 16-fight winning streak, right? One of the GOATs, you know, that would have been cemented at welterweight. I feel like this version right here is going to be the best one because he took a whole year to prepare. And he said he wasn't going to go back into the octagon unless he was ready. So you already know it's going to be a dog fight. Let's get it.
It's funny about the 0-3 thing, right? Do you think people see that on paper and it kind of does him a disservice, right? Because the first loss to Leon, he won 24 minutes of the fight. Right. The second one, fair enough. And then the Hamzat fight was 10 days, and he still did really well at the end of that fight too. So do you think the 0-3 thing, people could get confused by that and not think of him as
very confused. So don't get it twisted. Kamaru Usman is finna step in there and try to get back to his belt, right? But nah, dog, you had your chance, you had your opportunity. And I feel like it's like a little flashback, right? He took the belt from our St. Louis own Tyrone Willie, right? 314, shout out to that. And took that belt from St. Louis. So I got to get it back for us. So Kamaru Usman, he in my way to go get that title. So we're going to shut it down.
Fight-wise, how does the fight play out in your mind? I know you're a strategy kind of guy. Where do you look at his strengths?
What I tell you the first time? Immediately. I'm going to knock him out immediately.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, you know, things change, plans change, but has the UFC told you win this one, belt time?
No, they haven't told me anything, but yet again, it's on the fans, right? I do what I do, and I perform how I know I can perform, and y'all see every person I fought that was ranked, I knocked them out. I don't think it's going to be no different, especially with Usman. And as much as he's preparing or feels ready, I just don't think he can withstand the power that I'm going to deliver. And I'm going to stand right there in front of him. Like, I'm not backing up. I'm not doing any of that. Like, we finna fight.
One last one from me. People talk about momentum in fighting and momentum in fighters. With each win, it feels like you're coming more and more into your own and your ceiling is rising. Do you feel that yourself? Do you feel like when you're getting wins over the names like Covington and now you get a fight with Usman, do you feel like the confidence is giving you skills and strengths?
I really feel like it's the team that I'm with, right? And a lot of people don't know about the team that I'm with. You know, we don't have a big camp like AKA. We don't have a big camp like Kill Cliff or, you know what I'm saying? What's another big gym out there? Or Extreme Couture, you know what I mean? So the guys that I'm working with are all local. And they get to focus on me mainly. And I really feel like I haven't really gave y'all the best version of me. A lot of times when I go out there and fight, you know, it's with aggression, it's just being angry, just being mad. But now when I'm back home and I'm around love, bro, and I really feel like the type of fighter that I can be now, I can have more clarity, right? And I can use more of my mind instead of just going out there and just like, you know what I mean? Just going out to destroy. But with that being said, I got a lot of things in my toolbox that I haven't even utilized. And they remind me all the time, like, bro, you great. You got this. You can beat him anywhere, you know? So I just can't wait to show that, you know what I mean? So shout out to the Solid Foundation. Brick by brick, man, we finna take the throne.
Joaquin right here. Just one about yesterday at the ceremonials there. We saw you kind of at the side of the cage talking to...
Man. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of background there, right? Because Ian Gary kind of went on an interview this week. He said some things. He said, Joaquin Buckley can barely speak English. He said,
Right. So the reason why he don't understand me is because I don't speak Cucanese. You understand? So I can understand why he didn't understand me the first time. But, when I was out there and, he doing his weigh-ins, and I'm not trying to get into his head or nothing like that, but when you talk like that, don't act like when you see me like I'm invisible. You talking about me, you saying my name, holla at me. Let me know something. But, his girl, very protective, protecting her man, using the baby like a shield, whatever, but it just is what it is, But I really want to see what, Ian Gary is about and just what he had to say to me in person, and he was real quiet.
So what did you make of that reaction then that you got from him? Because we saw, I think the security tried to escort him off the stage, and he kind of stood there and
nothing happened. His girl was touching on my arm and stuff like that, caressing my arm. I didn't know what all that was about. But I feel like, security, they got to do their job because they just never know how fighters going to react. So, shout out to them. But, for me, I just want to promote and have a conversation. Because if we really going to get down, let's get paid for it at the end of the day.
So who's your prediction in the main event tonight?
Man, come on, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want Ian Gary to win, right? Because we're gonna keep promoting it and we're gonna keep selling it until everybody else wanna jump on. But it seemed like the poll that I did on my Instagram, everybody wanna see Protez, right? And the fighting nerds right now, they hot. They on the street. 19-0, probably gonna be 20. And the thing is, Protez, like, this is the highest level fighter that he's fighting, right, within Ian Gary. But this is going to be the real test to see what Protez is really about. And at the end of the day, his talent and his skills and that power, like, that's your equalizer. You could be losing fight the whole time. Touch, pow, you gone. So, Protez is definitely a talent, but I'm pulling for Ian Gary for sure.
Last one. You said you want to go in there against the Kamaru Usman that was, the UFC champion. But you'd also kind of made a comment on your Instagram. You said, his knees might be gone. Do you believe?
Boy, them knees is brittle, like no foundation at all. And I'm scared, like, he might not even make it to the walkout. He gonna have to crawl to the cage, 100%.
Just a couple quick ones from me. Obviously, the title in your division is going to be decided next month. How do you see that one playing out?
Man, I'm going to keep it a buck and I'm going to keep it 100. Bilal should not lose this fight. And if he lose, I'm going to think he lost on purpose. But I know Bilal is a tough fighter, and I know he's a strategic fighter, and I know he's going to do whatever it takes to win. JDM also has power, but he gets tired, and to me, not the smartest fighter. When we seen him fight Gilbert Burns, which, yet again, Gilbert Burns was, for 4 rounds, right, controlling him the whole time. Just got caught with a knee, right? So Bilal just got to be smart, got to be intelligent, just don't get caught. But we already know who's trying to come up and take that 170 spot. And be honest with you, he need to hold up and wait because that's my belt. So we need Bilal to get this win so I can go ahead and take the title from him, and then whoever want to move up, come holler at your boy Buck.
Last one for me, obviously very crowded at the top of the division. Sean Brady just got the big win against
Man, ain't nobody talking about Sean Brady. He ain't doing nothing.
That's what I was going to ask. Sean and Ian went back and forth this week. Do you think that?
Well, first off, I can't talk about somebody that still got me blocked. So go ahead, next question, baby.
Why do you think he blocked you?
Huh?
Why does he have you blocked?
He's scary. He don't want to fight me.
So lots of talk, and obviously Leon just lost to Brady, and then I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you all right, bro.
Do you leapfrog and get that title shot if you go out and
the weight of the names that I fought cannot be matched. You talking about from Vicente Luque and how I did him. You talk about from Wonder Boy and how I knocked him out. And you talk about Colby Covington and shutting him up. The most talkative person that's on the roster, and he ain't say nothing while we was out there. And now Kamaru Usman, who could have arguably went down as a GOAT. Once I do what I do to him, and then y'all seen what Hamzat, that boy was struggling with him for 3 rounds. Once I do what I know I can do to Kamaru Usman, there's no denying me. Y'all got to give me my belt. I'm taking that throne by force. Period.
Congrats in Atlanta.
Thank you.
Good luck in Atlanta.
Thank you, bro. You all right?
Talking about Atlanta, what is your familiarity with Atlanta, Georgia?
For me, it'll be my first time in ATL.
Absolutely. It's a really
I want to go to Buckhead.
It's a big market. You're fighting a former champion. How important would it be to put on a great show in Atlanta, Georgia?
It's going to be a big deal, right? I believe going to Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know how many times the UFC's been there, but anytime I touch down to any place, and especially now that I'm a main event and I'm the main show and people paying tickets to come see me, I got to show out for them, you know? And going to Atlanta, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity where we can build a market, right? Not just here in America, but get a lot of people, my folks, right, African Americans, to watch us. You know, a lot of us, we be watching boxing, you know what I mean? We love Bud, we love Crawford, you know? But I feel like, you know, the whole world enjoys this sport, but I'm not seen by people that look like me, right? Young kids, you know what I'm saying, and young teenagers that, you know, I feel like, bro, they could be fighters too, right? But they just pick the other sports because those are the ones they pay attention to. So I just think this is a good move, and had a fight in Atlanta, I think it's a great opportunity just to show people who I am.
Oscar asked you a little earlier about how you feel about you continuing to climb the ladder, proverbially. You're a main event fighter now. Could you just speak about just personally how your life has changed as you've consistently just elevated in your career?
I think the only change that's truly been made is yet again having the opportunity to come back home, right? And if I didn't have the funds or the money to do certain things, like I couldn't do what I'm doing. And I believe that the UFC has allowed me a space where I can create and build in my own city and be able to give back to my community. So I'm able to not just change my life, but change the lives around me. And that's a beautiful thing.
Last question for me. You mentioned earlier about making an impact on young African Americans. What would a young Mr. Buckley think about the man that's sitting here right now that's about to headline Atlanta, Georgia?
Man, that's a powerful question. He wouldn't even believe it. But one thing I would say about that kid, I'm glad you never quit. I'm so glad you never quit. You kept going. You kept pushing. And now look at us.
Looking forward to seeing you in Atlanta.
Thank you, sir. All right, y'all.
One more? Can we get your thoughts on WrestleMania this past weekend? John Cena, Randy Orton. I know you have a connection.
Oh,
with
man,
Randy
I do have a connection with Randy Orton. I did miss it, but I believe Randy won, right?
Well, Randy did win, but then Monday Night Raw, he came and attacked Cena. Did you get a chance to see?
No. I ain't see him backdoor him. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, shout out to Randy Orton, man. John Cena, bro. Hopefully they be able to put me on that stage one day, you know? All right, y'all. Appreciate it.